Lesson 10, Solving and Graphing Inequations, Part 2. Well, there's one thing I need to let you know about inequations before we finish them off. Although they are almost always the same as equations in terms of rules of solving, there is one important situation. A situation where in the middle of solving it, we will flip or reverse the inequality sign. Let me just have a look with you, please, here at these two, -7 and -3. Now, -7 is less than -3. Clearly, I'm sure you knew that. Let me show you one other thing that I think you know as well. Comparing 3 and 7. 3 is less than 7. Here's what I want to do. I want you to imagine that I multiply both sides of this inequality by -1. If I do, then what happens is -7 times -1 becomes +7. And -3 times -1 becomes +3. So let me ask you, what is the correct symbol to put between 7 and 3? Well, the answer is that 7 is greater than 3. In changing these negatives, essentially by multiplying by -1 or dividing, would have done it, I changed the sign of both sides, and the only sensible thing to do turns out to be to flip or reverse the sign. Let's have a look here. Let's go over to this one. If I have if I have +3 and +7, and I go -1 times each of those, then that will turn them into -3 and -7. So I ask you, what is the correct relationship between -3 and -7? The answer is that -3 is greater than -7. So what does it all mean? Here's the rule. When you multiply or divide an inequation by a negative number, flip, most people say reverse, but I like the flip the sign. By that, flip the greater than to less than, and the less than to greater than. Let me illustrate this, please, with an example. Solve and graph. Here we have -2 times some number is less than 6. For example, 0 would work because 0 times -2 is 0, and 0 certainly is less than 6. So I will just simply do what I normally do when solving equations. I will divide both sides by -2. On the left, because they cancel, this gives me x. On the right, this gives me, now 6 divided by -2 is -3. But I just divided by -2. So flip the sign. In other words, this less than becomes a greater than. This inequation is true when x is greater than or equal to -3. No, not equal to. My mistake. Not equal to. Open circle. There's the answer right there. Let's do a second one. 4 times a number is greater than 6 times a number plus 8. Well, what I would do here normally is and I will do this time, is subtract 6x from both sides. And that will get me on the left, let's see, 4x minus 6x is -2x. And on the right, now no flipping here. I didn't divide, I subtracted. -2x is greater than 8. But I'm about to divide by -2. Or if I multiplied it by a negative number, I'd get a flip as well. Here comes the flip. X is, well, hang on. 8 divided by -2 is -4, but because I just did a division by a negative number, flip the sign. So this greater than becomes a less than. The answer is that x is less than -4. Well, I think the best thing to do, I recommend, you try a few of these. Thanks very much.